Hi, I'm Amy Cesare, author and illustrator of The Coloring Book of Shadows, and I recorded this video live on Facebook, so it is raw and unscripted, and I may sound like I'm talking to myself or saying hi to people who aren't there or answering random questions, but hopefully it gives you some inspiration and ideas on how to color your own magical stuff. Thanks for watching. Hey, what's happening? I'm just here to do a little preview of live coloring that I'm going to do this evening or afternoon. So I did something a little different this time. I pre-colored this page. So it's very, very lightly colored, all in one layer, just the very basics. I'm going to try this to see if it's a little easier or quicker. Okay, so for this one, I've been doing some wilder color schemes. So for this one, I just sort of wanted to pick colors that were like, if you just saw it out of the box, what colors would you pick? So these are the ones that I picked. I'm gonna try to do some gray and some blue and some green and some gold. And then maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna add a little pink. So what I did is I kind of pre-colored it, just one really flat layer of all the colors that I think I'm gonna use. And then later today, I'm gonna deepen it and show you like how to layer it up, and we'll see where that goes. So kind of normal colors for what it's worth, but we'll see what we can do. And then the other thing I did is I pre-colored this. I just did a real light, even coloring on it. Usually people can get it to this point, but then when it comes to doing more shading or whatever, that's where it gets a little more complicated. So I thought I would try this and see if it works or not. So tell me what you think. And I guess I will just start my coloring. So I kind of like to do the backgrounds first because it sets the mood a lot. And I did like a super, super light coloring here with turquoise blue. And I'm just going to continue that by darkening it on the edges. It's a real easy trick. I do it all the time, but it's just a good way to give it depth. You could go backwards too. You could make it darker around the figure and then lighter at the edge, whatever you want. But same pencil and just a big difference because I'm pressing a lot harder. And then blending it out to the real light color. And other than these colors, I didn't really plan anything this time. Just trying to keep it kind of chill and see what happens as I go. Okay, so that's pretty basic, but you can already see it really livens it up. So I'm going to just turn this around. I want it a lot darker around these items, so I'm going to just take a little time. So I'm not going to do too much in here. I just want to I'll move on to something more exciting. Maybe this is exciting, I don't know. Okay, cool. That's pretty good. We got a blue enough sky. So let's do our leaves. No, hi, Candy. I should turn that down. I try to have it real quiet because I too like it, but it triggers the copyright thing on YouTube when I repost it. So. Okay, so I have sea green, and I just did these super basic, and I'm not going to go too crazy with them. Maybe you want to see me go crazy, but today's not the day. Just chill. Then I had a teal. Maybe I'll go a little more crazy with these teal leaves because I was thinking of doing like something cute, like pink tips. I think that's a real leaf. I'm not sure. But this is the teal. I feel like I remember that, like leaves that are half pink and half green. But I was thinking of doing, like maybe seeing what I could do with that. So these are already colored teal. We can add some pink. Just like a tiny bit and see what happens. And then I'll darken all the teal. This wasn't on my color sheet, but I was considering it, I was pondering it. Okay. So now I've added some experimental pink. It's actually pretty cool. I'm just sort of feeling this one out. I'm not really, I don't know, doing anything so fancy with it, with the shading. Just sort of letting it do its thing. Those are cute. Those are very cute. Do the stem things. And then kind of blend the green into the pink there, but leave the tips pink. Sort of the look I'm going for. It looks cute. Hi, Kendra. Thanks so much. I'm glad you like it. 2 years in a row. I know I gotta start the 2021 actually planner pretty soon. Ah, I feel like I just finished the 2021, but it'll be fun. I haven't like come up with too many ideas yet for it, so got a whole bunch of work ahead of me on that one. It'll be cool though. It's always a really fun book to make. Maybe my favorite. Okay. So yeah, I'm just like darkening the back or the part of these that are not pink and then fading it into the pink real kind of just to make them unique. Especially compared to these sea green leaves here. Just a different color and just a subtle bit of pink. To go with my chill coloring theme today. Okay. So those look really nice. I like those a lot. Let's see. Are you still there? I hope so. the alarm. I set an alarm so I wouldn't forget to do the live video, but then I think I forgot to turn it off, so it's gonna keep going. Hopefully you're still there. Okay, I think you're still there. Hi, Patty. All right, so these leaves are teal green, I'm sorry, they were sea green, and I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of teal to darken some of the shadows. But I'm not going too fancy here. If you just joined, this is not fancy coloring day. This is really chill, just relax coloring day. We'll do really fancy coloring day another time. But we got fancy. These leaves are fancy. They're green and pink. Woo. Okay. So now just sea green, and then I'm going over it with teal. I'm not following any kind of light source other than just how I'm feeling it. So maybe make one side darker, maybe outline it darker, whatever you feel like. Okay, that's probably pretty good for leaves. Well, no, I'll just fill this in a little bit with the blue. Okay, cool. Let's work on the statue lady. So far, looking pretty good. So the statue lady, oh no, what did I get on there? Some pencil in yellow, I think. Just my luck. Oh well. We'll just roll with it. Okay, so I have Timberwolf and gray are my gray colors to work on the statue. You could use any gray. I just picked these ones out. Sharpen them up. My favorite pencil sharpener. We were just talking about pencil sharpeners, but I like this one a lot. It's cool. Hi, Bethany. Okay. So I colored this statue with the Timberwolf, which is a really super, super light gray. And then this is the gray, which is darker. And I'm just going to go real basic. Like I'm kind of going to just outline the edges and do a real basic shading job on it. Nothing super fancy. I'm just going to start darkening it where I feel like there would be an underlap or a shadow. And then see where it goes. Oh, Bethany, I said like all kinds of different times that unfortunately I didn't have it. I said like 3 different things. I'm like trying to be on a schedule for this, but it's totally not my thing to be on a schedule, even though I want to be. So I'm working on it. But yeah, I got to figure out what time is good for people. But I think this is like a pretty good time for me anyway. The later, I'm like a morning person, so the later it gets, like the less energy I have. But okay, this is relaxing you. I'm glad. This is relaxing me too. I was just doing art before, but this is like a different kind of art. It's like more chill. So I'm just like shading the edges and things that are sunken in, things where I don't see the light hitting it as much. But like I said, again, I'm not really following a specific lighting source. I'm just kind of winging it and imagining. Where the shadows might be. And then I did yellow over, like for the candlelight. You don't have to do that, of course, but I'm still gonna shade it the gray, but just like less. So it's sort of going over, the light is still going over it, but there's a little bit of dynamic shading underneath it or over it, but you can't really tell. Okay. And then things that are shadowy or like tucked under, farther away, kind of, depending on how you look at it. So I shaded that. It makes it look like it's underneath or like recessed a little bit. Cute. Hi, Micah. Oh yeah, doing the background and the big, it's good to look at the big picture. I like the details too, though. I mean, details can be so fun, but I did it mostly just to save a little time on the video, but it kind of does help to like block out all the colors. And you can really get the look of the page. And then go back in and fill details as you have time or don't or whatever. Okay, so let's see here. This is going to be more shadowy. Getting a little more detailed here. Without making it too much around her neck. But it would be more shadowy. And then that throat part like sticks out a little more. Even on a statue. So I'm going to leave that less dark. And then collarbones stick out. So there's going to be a little shadow on the other side. And then this is like all under her hat. So, or like underneath her, more shady is what I'm trying to say. It's like a joke. I always lose my eraser as soon as I have an eraser with me like all the time. And then as soon as the live video goes on, my eraser disappears. It's happened like 3 videos in a row. So I guess I'm just not supposed to erase anything, which is fine. There's that little yellow smudge. You probably can't see it, but it's driving me crazy. Okay. So then let's see here. Her little face is going to be shady under the hat. But just a few simple details. See, even that, like it's a really simple detail, but it totally added just under here and under her hat right there. It added so much like depth to it by just doing a tiny bit. It looks like she's actually wearing the hat. Drawing cement braids was really hard. I'm just going to say that. But let's see. So the parts, like I'm imagining the light just hitting the front of it more. So anything that's like a little under, the big bloopy parts are lit up, and then it's a little shadowier on the edge underneath. This one might just be darker. Oops, am I still on the camera? There we go. Cute. She's looking super cute. Okay, and just a little bit around her face. Not much. But she would be, like her cheeks would be kind of just like a regular face shading. And think about where, oops, sorry, my camera's shaking around. Think about where the light hits and where it's a little more shadowy under your cheeks. I'm pressing like really super light here. I'm not adding a lot. Oh, over under her eyebrows, over her eyes, a little darker. Noses stick out, so they're brighter. Just a little bit under, like by her nose and under her eyes. Just maybe so her cheeks stick out a little bit more. Not getting too crazy there. A little under her lips. Make sure her little chin sticks out there. That's cute. Okay. So I'm going to just darken this out. This is really standing out as light now. So do a little under here. That looks nice. It looks like stone to me, so I'm stoked with that. I left like a little texture. I probably would have left a little texture no matter what I was coloring, just because I'm not being too careful here, but it works well for stone. Making it a little more shadowy over here, just under those items. In my mind, that light is being obstructed by those things. So this front part of her hat's more lit up, shadowy under this succulent thing. Or flower, however you want to see it. Cute. Let's see, what do I want to do with this part of her hat? You could shade this multiple ways. I'm just kind of riffing off what I see here. Cool. So now this is the Timberwolf. These parts are still really her boobs. Her concrete boobs are maybe a little light. So I'm going to go back in, and then I think I'm just going to shade them with the Timberwolf too, like a little bit underneath. Sorry. A little bit underneath. And even darker, like under. Fun. Okay, that's looking really nice. How lovely. Yeah, I haven't done very much there, but it looks pretty cool. And so why don't we just do our leaves the same way we did them. You can do them however you want. They could be yellow and green or different colors. You don't have to use green, obviously. But I'm going to do them like we did the ones at the top. I'm going to add a little bit of this blush pink to the tips. And then go back in with the teal and darken them. Cool. This is adding a nice look to it. It's not adding a lot of color, but it breaks up the green and blues a little bit. Not that you need to break up the green and blue, but it adds maybe a little more interest to it. That's pretty. Okay, so now that I have that, now going back with the teal, you could make them teal with white tips or like anything. Whatever you want. You could make them black with pink. That would be really fun. I should do that. Really dark purple leaves. Yeah, the candle glows are not, I think the hardest part is like remembering to leave it. Like doing it ahead of time. And then just like really coloring lightly over it or under it. Either way. I mean, I did this, I colored the yellow over some of the gray. So as long as you don't press too hard with whatever you're coloring, you can go back and put the candle glow in after. It might work a little bit better to do it ahead of time, but either way, as soon as you remember. I think I did that in the free class too. If you haven't seen the free class yet, we do a glowing candle. Okay, so I'm just sort of pressing pretty hard and blending these in. But it's giving it, I really like this look actually. This is nice. And then when you blend the green into the pink, it just sort of, it works pretty well. There are different colors, obviously, but somehow they're blending pretty good. Sort of like mixing a blue in between them, I guess. And this is a bluish green. This teal. It's not yellowish. Which probably helps. And then the pink is pretty purpley, so I guess that's why it's blending. But it looks good, I think. You can tell me if you don't think it looks good. So far, no one has been in the comments has been, oh, this does not look good. If you really gotta say it, it's okay. I think it looks awesome. Yeah. Cool. And then I'll do this thing the same. Oh, actually, I'll do it a little bit different. I'm going to do pink tips like a lot of succulents have. I have a raspberry pink too, but I'll just do this one. But I'm going to use the sea green instead, so this will be a little different. Just a tiny bit of the pink. And then sea green. Not being too precious, I'm just sort of coloring it all. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. That looks so nice. Okay. Now let's see. I have some important decisions to make. Like do this little quartz up. I'm just gonna do that really, really simple. Not even. Oh, I could get my, well, I won't do that now. I'll just make this extremely simple. Like that. And let's see, what else does it need other than doing like the, oh, the candles actually look pretty cute in white. I could do them in yellow, or I could do them like in a really, like a little bit of pink. I think I'll do, oh, and I need to do these leaves down here a little bit darker. That's what I gotta do. I'm just adding a tiny bit of pink to the candle. I think that'll be fun. They were yellow. I had a bunch of yellow on there to try to make it, but the yellow just adds to the glow. And I'm not going to add very much pink here. It's like they're barely pink, which is a cool look, I think. So just a little bit of pink to make the candles barely pink. And let's see, so what colors? For the flames, I have a mango and a golden yellow. I didn't bring out like a darker orange, but this will be fine enough. So I'm just adding like a tiny bit of mango to the top of the flame. You could do them any color, of course. And then I have raspberry, so I'm gonna add like the tiniest bit of raspberry, like red, or you could use red or orange to the top. But just like a super tiny bit. Cool, those are some easy flames, all done. And then let's see, I'll do the leaves. I haven't been doing like the alternating leaves, like dark to light. Like, you know, when you color, you have all these lines and you alternate them. But maybe I will. That sounds kind of fun. So like do a little more detail. Let's see if I can pull it off though, the way I was imagining it. Gotta leave a little more of the sea green there. I'm going a little heavy with the not alternating them, but well, that would probably have been the better way to do it, but I wanted to make like a little gradient on each leaf. But that's okay. Got halfway there and just gave it its own little unique look. That looks like a palm leaf. I think the sea green and the teal are actually pretty close together, especially when you like blend them. I've been using the teal and now I'm putting the sea green over it. They're pretty close. Or they blend well, let's say that. But that's cool with more color and the two of those blended together. Not as much definition as I've been thinking about in my mind, but let's see. If I sharpen this teal pencil, might make all the difference. I wanted it more stripey. Just too nice of a point. Had to be smushed. Yes, a little more stripey is what I was going for, but that's still pretty subtle. Just adds a little bit of definition though, which is cool. Cool. And then let's do these other little bits. Just the same. So blocking out the dark stripes. I don't know if this is a cute look or if it just adds more complication to it, but we'll roll with it. I think it looks natural, actually. It's a nice, like, you know how the palm leaves are like, I don't know. When they have the slats in them, there's like a lot of shadow in between. So they have like that line to look to it. So let's try it. And then this is the teal, blue, or green, whatever. Teal, blue, green. Which one is it, blue or green? The pencil, it says teal, but in the other languages, in Spanish, in French, it says azul and bleu. So my guess is teal is considered blue. All right. Hi, Wendy. What's happening? You're at work? Me too. Funny enough. Thanks for saying hi. Okay, now I have the sea green and I'm blending it in. So this one got some good, oh, wait, the yellow glow. Leave some, don't go over it all. That's the hard part, is like blending in the colors, but not going really, really light. You just need a little bit when you're doing the candle glow part of the other colors to make it look, oh, that's not yellow. And then see, now I can go over it with yellow and even just a little bit more over what I've already done. You can add to it. It's never too late. See how the yellow is blending over the leaves there? Or a different color of glow, but yellow seems to work the easiest. You could definitely do a different color though. A little more of these guys. Just intensify them. I only did a real basic glow earlier. That looks cool. Yes, I like those leaves. Those are cool. I'm just gonna blend them in a little bit more. It was worth it to make them stripy. It's kind of hard, like anything that's like repetitive like that, where you have to do the same thing over and over, freaks me out. I don't know. It always feels like a lot. I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna give up after 3. But then you have to keep going. I feel that when I'm drawing hands, I'm trying to get better at drawing hands, but there's so many fingers. All 5 of them, usually. And it just is a lot. But I think that's mostly my mind playing tricks on me. Okay, so I'm doing like darker at the bottom part of each frond. And then trying to blend it out to the top half of the frond is lighter. But those look pretty. Cool. Awesome. So let's see. My last thing is the border and the brass items. So let's see. I had a brown. And this was like a gold or a copper kind of, but if you look at, especially if it's rusty, there's like, it's yellowy and white, and then there's like brownish the low lights or the shadows are like brownish, and then the highlights are real bright because it's metal. So you get a lot of contrast. So I just picked out brown, yellow, and mango, like some pretty bright colors to, and a big range of contrast within them. Brown, mango, and golden yellow to try to do some really basic chill gold / bronze colored things here. Because this is chill coloring day. Not super fancy coloring. Okay. So I'm just sort of, I don't know, adding color to it as I see fit. A little bit more of the brown, and then a little bit of the orange and the yellow, mango and golden yellow to blend them together. Not really going for accuracy, but just more of the look to catch your eye. That looks nice. And then for the background, or the, well, I could do more of the background. For the border, I was gonna do like, get this Pacific blue. What is this? Nope. This one, I was gonna do like Pacific blue and darken it. Here we go. Which could be fun. Maybe not. Maybe I won't do this though. But this is kind of what I was thinking. Actually, that looks really nice. I had turquoise blue for the main background, and then I was going to darken it with Pacific blue just to give it some more depth. But that's something you could do. And then the other idea I had, see how deep that is? That looks nice. And then the other thing I was going to do with the border, I'll just do that because I haven't colored a border live for a while. So I kind of just like really loosely made it all yellow / golden yellow. But the I have mango here and brown also, like two darker colors. And I've been enjoying like not even backgrounds, like not like making part of it lighter and then going a little bit darker, leaving like different variations. Of course, you could make it all even too. But now that I have like some real basic variation in it, get the brown one. I could sharpen it up just a little bit here, since this is pretty detailed. Like trying to get in to a detail with a not sharp pencil is harder. So now now that I have like some basic variation, and I'm not going to do much, but I'm adding a little brown to some of it, like, and I'm skipping around. Oh no, my tip. I need to just grab a different brown pencil here. We'll just use light brown and be the same. But now that I have a little variation, like in yellow, blend part of it darker. And it gives it like, it's kind of a rustic look. Like if you don't want it to be uneven, obviously don't do it this way. But you could use like green, purple, and pink and do 3 different colors, like kind of just blend them all real loosely. But you see there's a little bit of variation on that border that I've colored so far versus the top. And it's just a little bit of interest. I mean, completely optional, of course. And it's not very fancy, but all it does is sort of break it up and add a little bit of interest to it. And you could be way more technical with it if you wanted to have a certain light hitting it or something specific, but I'm more just going for feel here. Going back and forth with my different colors. The brown, mango, and golden yellow. And then you can leave like a big portion of it white too, or a little portion of it white. Or not, but you can. I'll leave some white just for contrast. But it sort of just makes it look, I don't know, a little more rustic, a little bit like bent up, or like lights hitting it in different places depending on how you look at it. I think it's cute. And this corner is already a little bit lighter down here, and I think I'll just leave it a little bit lighter. Go with the natural look. Cool. It's almost like a variegated yarn. Good stuff. Cool. Awesome. Wow, look how nice. I love this. This turned out great. I do feel kind of maybe called later to darken up the background a little bit. Just add more depth to the blue. I have the Pacific blue here. And I was thinking like a really deep sky blue to the background. So you could just keep going. That's the Pacific blue over turquoise, or whatever colors you have. It's totally fine. They're all a little different, but that's just what adds to it. So that is the Pacific blue, and then going back with the turquoise to blend it in and add more depth to the color, and so on. So you could just keep going with that to make the background whatever color you want if you are coloring the background. And you totally don't have to, of course. I like to. But they look awesome with no background or very little background. You can add just a little tiny bit of color to it, and it goes a long way. Or you could just like go forever. You can make the backgrounds really intense with lots of color if you just keep going. Blah, 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 blah. So that's what I would recommend. If you want to keep going, just keep going. Darken it with the Pacific blue. And then go back and blend it in with turquoise. And then just keep going until you have the depth that you like. Ta-da! So I would say that's pretty cool for now. I really like how this turned out. You can see when we first started, if you go back and look at the beginning, I just had the real flat basic coloring with some of these colors, and then we added all kinds of shadow and shading and detail to it. Simple tricks, but I think it really helped and added a lot, and it came out awesome. So thanks for watching. I hope you go color something cool and share it on the page or in the group, because we want to check it out. So thanks again, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. And if you want to learn more, take my free class about getting started with your colored pencils. You can find it at the link below, or just go to coloringbookofshadows.com and click courses.